The future of a certain flight at the Pocatello Regional Airport may be in jeopardy. Local News 8 reporter Cole Sams shows us how a city's upcoming decision could affect an entire community.
After deciding to retire, Tammy Wild wanted to live in Pocatello, and the airport here in the Gate City was a huge factor in her decision.
One of the reasons that we chose to retire here is because it had an airport that took us to a hub that enabled us to go anywhere we needed to go, to visit family, to travel.
But with commercial travel cuts being discussed, Wild is worried she won't get to travel as much.
And we're starting to panic. We don't want to have to leave. We're very happily living here. And I visit my family several times a year, and they also come to see us. And we need these flights.
The Pocatello City Council is expected to consider spending $800,000 on a subsidy to SkyWest. The subsidy would help save the only round-trip flight from the Pocatello Regional Airport to Salt Lake City. While the subsidy could be a burden on taxpayers, airport manager Alan Evans says no subsidy could have a larger impact.
If we were to lose this flight, there's a potential that we would lose a great deal of federal funding for this airport. We would be dropped down considerably.
Evans says the pandemic played a role in reducing flights, but says a labor shortage is the biggest factor.
It's really, truly attributed to a lack of pilots in the system, and this is nationwide. This is not a Pocatello-only problem.
Evans believes as the city continues to grow, having the airport becomes even more important.
It's an economic driver to have commercial service in your community, and there's a lot of regional and community things that are happening here in Pocatello, and we believe that that this is viable.
Pocatello native Bardell Bybee lives in Washington and says he loves that he is able to fly right into his hometown.
It's huge. Rather than, flying into Salt Lake from Portland and then either having the additional expense of renting a car and taking the time to drive. If I'm bringing my family, then we got to get a bigger vehicle or maybe even two vehicles, or inconvenience a family member to drive down to Salt Lake to pick us up. It's just huge.
And for Bybee and Wild, they believe eliminating the SkyWest flight will ultimately hurt the city.
There's just so many other reasons why it should remain. Just the jobs that would be lost here in the airport, for one thing. I think it'd be pretty short-sighted to not keep this available for the city of Pocatello.
It would be pretty sad to see it discontinued, and I think it would hurt a lot of people that live here in Pocatello and the surrounding area.
Reporting in Pocatello, I'm Cole Sams.
This issue will be discussed at 6 p.m. Thursday during the City Council's regular meeting. The public is welcome to attend.